hello, good morning, afternoon or evening, depend on when you're listening. This is another Trains with Charlie. Now enough of me. Charlie, say hello, mate.
Hello.
Hello. If I said to you two words, Dean Goods, what does it all mean?
Well, Dean Goods is the far easier way of pronouncing the Great Western Railway 2301 class.
Okay, we've got a nice picture of it here, and what a looker it is. Great train, isn't it?
Yeah, this train's a simple 060 tender locomotive used by the Great Western Railway throughout World War One and World War Two.
I was going to say it was used during World War One and World War Two, but do you have the build date?
Well, the first 260 were built in 1883 until 1899.
1883?
Yep, that's right.
My goodness me, and they were still around in World War One?
Yes?
Well, that's a good few years of service, I suppose. Now, can you tell us anything about any modified versions of the train?
Well, there are probably hundreds of different modified versions, but I'll list the main two. There's the 262T Friary tank version of it.
Okay.
Which was a domeless version and didn't have a tender. And then there was ones which did have a tender and also pannier tanks. So that would be an 060TT standing for tanks and tender.
Okay. Now, do you have a model of one of these?
I do have a model of one of these. I have a model of the 2330.
Do you have any idea what era that was built in? Is that one of the first ones?
That is one of the first ones, and the livery I've got it in is a World War II livery.
Could you describe that to us? What would a World War II livery look like?
Well, it would be a khaki colour.
Okay.
And on the tender it would have in giant white letters ROD.
Oh, okay. ROD. Gotcha. Excellent stuff. And these trains have been preserved, right?
Well, one has. There are a few that's unknown what has happened to them, but are presumed scrapped. But the one that's saved was 2516. Unfortunately, it doesn't run anymore, but it's exhibited at the Swindon Steam Museum.
Oh, right, okay. Have you been to the Swindon Steam Museum? I can't remember.
I haven't, but I would like to.
That's right, I remember. I think it was episode 2 or 3, I remember. You may have brought it up, or it might have been another museum, because there's plenty of them around, isn't there?
Yeah, the main one being the National Railway Museum, full of hundreds of good trains. Such as the one we talked about last episode, the Flying Scotsman.
Well, that was an episode indeed. We should say, all really edited by you as well. How did you find that, putting together a video? Because it's great doing these podcasts or FranPod as we're doing just audio, but do you prefer doing it with video as well?
It is good to have a video to see, but it does take a lot more time to make as well.
I think we get a real appreciation, actually, don't we? That all those videos we watch, they can take quite a lot of time to put together. But good on you for doing it. Well done. Big achievement. Great stuff. And actually, you can hear, if we listen, I'm going to hold the microphone closer. You might even be able to hear that fan. That's actually the computer uploading episode 6. But enough of episode 6. This is episode 7, isn't it? Or have I got that wrong? I can't remember. Is this episode 7?
I think they may have accidentally both been named episode 6.
All right. Well, this is episode 6.1. Should we say that?
Yeah.
I think we'll call it episode 7. Might drop a little edit in there. If not, you've all heard that exclusive. Anyway, is there anything else you want to mention about it, Charlie?
Well, other than serving in both the world wars, they were sent all over the world and a lot to France. Germany, the Nazis took them over. At one point, the Russians stole some from the Austrians and then gave them back to the Austrians, who then gave them back to us. The Ottoman railways used to have some. And, well, that's just a few of what's probably hundreds of countries.
My goodness me. So, a successful train, you could say.
Very successful.
Are there any trains that weren't successful, you know, ones that should have worked but didn't?
Well, not from this era, but from a different era. There was the Union Pacific Triplex, and that has 3 sets of driving wheels, and because it was so big, it could barely make up enough steam to reach any faster than 3 miles an hour.
3 miles an hour. My goodness me, that's not... You could walk faster than that.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Anyway, this has been episode 7. Thank you all very much for listening. Is there anything else we want to mention, Charlie?
No, I think that's it.
That's about it. But whilst we finish episode 7, all about this amazing train, the Goods, or Dean Goods rather, it's going to be the summer holidays soon. Are you off anywhere in particular?
Hopefully, if all goes to plan, I will be going to the Snowdon Mountain Railway.
Now, what would be amazing is if we could see some photos of that when we return. Do you think that would be possible?
Yes. Yeah.
Brilliant stuff. Can you explain this train? Because it's not. Is it steam or is it electric? I can't remember one or the other. They've made an electric version, though, right?
Yes. Originally, it was steam.
Ah.
Then it was diesel. Then it was diesel electric multiple unit, and now there's an electric one. But most of the original steam and diesels are still running on the railway.
Oh right. Okay. So that's pretty cool. I mean, that's got to go up some pretty big, mountains, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we look forward to hearing all about that. On behalf of me, I've been Jay. Nice to see you.
And I've been Charlie. Goodbye.
See you soon.